Hi, I'm Scott Hamilton, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast for your ears. A review discussion of the very first episode of the new Marvel TV show, Loki. Minor spoilers will follow. Not a lot of spoilers, but it's hard to talk about an episode of a TV show without a few spoilers, and it won't be much that you haven't seen in the trailers. I've only seen the first episode, like most humans. I know reviewers got the first two, but I did not. So I got the first episode. I watched it, and not very often this happens, but I ran into the studio and started recording this immediately because I wanted to do it while fresh. The short version is, this is the best first episode of a Marvel TV show ever. It got me right into it. 12 minutes in, I'm completely hooked. I will watch anything wherever it goes. That's the short version. Longer version is, this is exactly what I want out of a Marvel TV show. We have gotten WandaVision, which was a very strange beast, but wound up well. It was interesting. It took some interesting turns, did some interesting things with characters, and fit into the universe just fine. And then we came along with Falcon and Winter Soldier, and that, again, was a different kind of show. A little more down to earth, a little more gritty, a little more realistic. Took some twists and turns with some characters we love and wound up pretty well. I was very satisfied with both seasons of TV, and I was looking forward to Loki. As I've said in many podcasts, I'm a Marvel fan. I'm not exactly a fanboy. If they put out a crappy movie, I will call it as such. Incredible Hulk was okay. Iron Man 2 was okay. But pretty much all the other movies I like. Even the ones that people are like, well, what about Captain Marvel? I mean, I've watched Captain Marvel more than once. It's highly entertaining. Not perfect and not one of my favorites, but I like the MCU. I like what the Marvel has done with the universe in bringing the comics to movies. They let Netflix kind of do the TV thing for a while with varying results. I liked but did not love the first round of Netflix shows, the Daredevils, the Jessica, I thought they did a horrible job with Iron Fist. But anyway, Iron Fist is one of my all-time favorites. I hope we get a reboot there. We're getting Master of Kung Fu later this year, so that's a thing. So I never thought that we would get to the A-list stars. And I know Loki technically is not, it's not Captain America and Iron Man. But to me, Tom Hiddleston in Loki has been one of the many reasons I love the Marvel Universe. Tom is great in the role. It's a great character. It's had an interesting arc so far. And so to explain a little bit, and you could call this a spoiler, but it's a lot of this is in the trailer, and this kind of has to happen for this to happen. But a little bit of an explanation why I call this not just a review, a discussion. So the Loki we all know that we've seen in all the movies did die when Thanos snapped him. I mean, it was brutal. And remember when they were doing the time traveling in Endgame and the Tesseract got loose and that version of Loki grabbed the Tesseract and blipped out of existence? This is the Loki we're now following. Because what he did there was a violation of the Time Variance Authority. Something that's very well known in the Marvel Universe, but we're now introducing it into the MCU. So there are already many videos online that talk about the TVA and the Timekeepers and how it all works. But it's interesting how the show does it, because Loki gets picked up right after the events of Endgame, and he's taken to this place. And they play a little video. It's not unlike things we've seen in other movies. And the whole area kind of reminds me of when we went to the other Afterlife in Beetlejuice, that each room had something different. And Tom Hiddleston plays this to the nth degree. I don't think this show would be half as good without him. His expressions, how he reacts to things. And this is a younger Loki. This is a Loki that hasn't been through all the stuff that the other Loki had been through. And not to give away too many spoilers, but there are scenes in this where he is confronted with the life that Loki had and how it ended. And he sees this and realizes, oh, like he doesn't really, have a reason to exist. You can see by the look on his face, it kind of shakes him to his core, and he's got to rethink about all of this stuff. And that's kind of what the point everybody was getting to. Owen Wilson is in this, and he plays kind of the handler for Loki. It's his idea to try and see if they can use Loki to their benefit. And Owen Wilson is one of those actors that pretty much plays Owen Wilson in every movie, but this is less ass and more smart than Owen Wilson usually plays. He is pretty smart, and he goes toe-to-toe with Loki, and the way he does it is in his charm, but a little, like I said, a little less smart ass and more just plain smart. I like it. The other characters are great. Some of the guards and the people that work at the TVA so far have been great side characters and foils for Loki because, oh, look, he's trying to use his powers, like it's quaint. So the first episode is an introduction to all this and to Loki. We're seeing it through his eyes and his reactions and everything. And I think it's great. I think it is getting this series off on exactly the right foot. There is enough mystery, intrigue, excitement, etc., action. It's tied into other things. I don't want to give something away, but they show one of the things Loki's done in the past that we haven't seen in the movies. And it's funny. He's a famous person by what he did. And I don't know. If you're a fan of the Marvel Universe, then you're probably already ready to watch this. But if you are not, again, Marvel is now to the point in the universe where you need to be caught up. I can't just blindly recommend a Marvel show and go watch it. You'll dig it. Because if you haven't seen all the adventures of Loki thus far and all the adventures of some of the other X-Men, when they cut back to things that have happened in previous movies and they kind of just run over it, gloss over it really quickly, if you don't have that, it's a good reminder for those of us that have watched all the movies. But if you haven't, and I know there are lots of people who don't like the Marvel movies, but their brand of entertainment is now interconnected, and they're doing a good job with making the TV series watchable. You don't have to know everything, but you get such a deeper understanding of everything going on if you've seen the movies and everything that's come before, and then you get into Loki. It's the same thing with the last two Avengers movies. When they started jumping around in time and jumping back to previous movies, some of the lesser movies all of a sudden became important. It was a brilliant move, and DC and other franchises wish they had created a universe that as rich as this has become and is becoming more with every property they drop. They've added magic now. They're adding time travel. We're adding martial arts this year. They're adding the immortals, godlike beings. We're getting the full spectrum of the Marvel Universe, and Loki is a step in the right direction. These series feel well-placed. It just smart moves. WandaVision was right for those characters. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was right for those characters, and this feels right for Loki. And I can't wait to see where it goes. I have no idea where it's going, and I love that about shows. I'm just finishing up Lovecraft Country, the first season, and that was one that I thought was done after the first two episodes, and then I had no idea where it was going, and it's gone to some crazy places, but that'll be another review. So my first impressions of Loki, this is going to be my favorite one so far. I hope they don't, not stick the landing or screw the pooch or whatever. But so far, based on the first episode, it gets out of the gate to a great start. I'm very intrigued by the mystery of it all and learning more about this part of the universe and how it ties into everything else Marvel. I think they're doing a great job with these TV properties. This is the third one that's like, great job. Can't wait to watch more. They're only releasing one episode a week because there's only 6 of them. So we've got 5 more weeks of this, people. Enjoy. I'm Scott Hamilton. I'm ROCKFILE. My website is therockfile.com. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and listening, and have a pleasant day.